good life?
Very much so. Very much
I'm
so.
sorry. We're gonna cut this so
Sure.
that you won't hear my question. So if
Oh,
you can
okay.
incorporate my question,
I'm sorry.
answer the.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I should have told you that beforehand.
right.
I apologize for that. Is it a good life?
It is a very good life. It is filled. It is fulfilling. It is very busy. And I'd like to introduce my wife, if Leah can come over here for a minute, because here's a great experience about our lives. This is my wife, Leah, and we are a full-time husband and wife partnership. We are together all the time. And many couples have said to us that they can't imagine doing that all the time. We understand that. It's not easy. It's hard on our marriage. It's hard on our family. It's very tiring. It's physically debilitating sometimes. But we wouldn't give it up for anything.
You just figure out how to make it work.
Right. Because we have, we have other skills. We have other trades. We could go do other things that we're both trained in. We're trained faux finishers, custom painters, and we could go do something else and make a lot more money. But we wouldn't be our bosses, and we love being our bosses.
Is it a good life for your kids?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, very much so. Very much so. I really do believe that. Our children get experiences and a richness and a tapestry of life that they wouldn't get anywhere. It's not just the weekends dressing up funny. It's the fact that my daughter has gotten to ride on, different horses. She rides elephants. She knows people who keep elephants for a living. She knows people who are blacksmiths for a living. She knows people who are professional actors and actresses and musicians for a living. One thing that's really neat, and I've seen the kids grow up out here because I'm one of the kids that grew up at the Ren Fair. There are people here who have known me since I was 12. And they will say to me sometimes, wow, look at you. I noticed some kids that I have known since they were very little, since they were in diapers. And I said to them, oh, you look grown up. And they say, oh, I'm tired of hearing that. I said, well, I'm 37. And what I hear now is, wow, why do you have gray hair? Because people are shocked. They see this next generation coming in. We used to be the youngest business owners here. Our first business was the Bubble Wands, which we were at earlier. And I came to this fair in 1996 with her. She was going to manage this shop. And I needed work. And I found work working for the guy that I blew bubbles for and sold Bubble Wands with at Scarborough Fair when I was 16. And I ended up putting in a couple years with him and then bought the business from him several years after that. So our kids love it. It drives them a little nuts. Certainly maybe they might get more attention doing something else, but then again, maybe they wouldn't.
Well, at the same time, we're with them all the time.
Yeah.
Do you have another question?
The mic's
Hold on
good.
one second.
Yeah, the mic's good.
I just have one more question, actually.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I'll speak to you later.
So I think I just have one more question for you.
Sure.
What's the hardest thing about this fair?
About this fair?
About this lifestyle?
About this lifestyle. Oh, the pressure and for us as booth owners. Everyone has a different experience at the Renaissance Fair. It's a very rainy day here at Maryland. Quite frankly, it's very blunt. The sales are going to be down, and this is my living. Imagine making 50% of your income in 9 weeks. That's what we do here. That says more about our income than anything else. That doesn't mean we make a lot. So we worry each day about what our numbers are going to be, about what the amounts is going to come in. It's like owning a shop at the mall. You've got to pay the rent.
So, I guess I lied. I have one last question.
That's fine.
So really, would you say for you that let me ask it a different way. Based on what you just told us about the business and what we were talking about before about the notion of fantasy, there really isn't a disconnect, is there? I mean, this is for you. This is a blend of the realities of finance and.
For me, this is not. There's no disconnect because this is our business. When I go see a fantasy movie in the mall, I keep the stub because it goes in my tax returns because I'm a fantasy artist. The term is fantasist. I sculpt leather. I make bubble wands. I write for a fantasy magazine. This is my business. This is my trade. I don't do anything else. If tomorrow the bottom dropped out of luxury goods, which is what these actually are, and I had to go make a living somewhere else, I would still be an artist, and hopefully I'd be a fantasist. I would find an avenue within the fantasy industry. That may mean working for another fantasy magazine. That may mean going to work in Hollywood and working on one of the set production people, but I'm a fantasist all the time. So when I read mythology and I read stories and I read science fiction and fantasy, I'm really researching. The fun thing about it is I'm always at work. The stressful thing about it is I'm always at work. So I never get to go, I'm even at home, there's no time off really.
I have one more question now.
Sure.
The more you talk, the better it is.
I'm a good interview, I know that.
You
No
are.
offense, I don't mean that as cocky.
No, you
No, you
are
are.
I know this
fabulous.
industry.
Yeah. What is it? Fantasy is your life. It's every part of your life. What is it about fantasy that makes it's not reality. It's not normal.
Uh-huh.
Quotes.
Right.
For you, it's normal. But what is it about this?
The word inspiration comes to mind. Everyone
I'm
needs.
sorry, I bumped
okay.
this. Can I have you do that one
Sure.
more time? Thank you.
The word inspiration comes to mind. The word inspiration comes from the Greek word inspiritu, to breathe life into. We are all needful to be inspired. We are all needful to be inspired. We all need to have life breathed into us. I have a slogan painted up on the top beam of my booth from Joseph Campbell that says, "Mythology is the homeland of the muses." The muses were the ones who inspired the arts and the sciences. Art and science are one and the same, they're interrelated. So music inspires me, I inspire other people. Ultimately, somebody might make something wonderful from it. The fact is all science comes out of art. When we take a cell phone and we flip it open, the reason it flips open like that is because somebody watched Star Trek. When we all get on our computers and open iTunes, it was because a guy from Microsoft saw Star Trek The Next Generation and thought about digital music. Science fiction is art. Fantasy is art. When people walk in and they look at a Green Man mask, a mask made of leaves and faces, they are inspired to look at nature in a different way. And they are inspired to explore nature in a transcendent way. And children are inspired to research history, our fantasy. So
would you say then that in addition to selling physical art, you're also selling a point of view?
certainly, yeah, absolutely. And we sell a point of view here because, like I said, people are also buying part of a little idea of our lifestyle, a little exploration into it. Their lives are different. They do have a 9 to 5. They do have a job every day. I work more hours than I ever did when I had 9 to 5s. But I'm selling an idea of a way to look at the world, a way to look at the world with big eyes and wonder that is best served in the children. And the children are the ones that really get the Ren Fair.
Last question, promise this time.
Sure.
Why is that point of view you're selling so important now, today?
Oh, my goodness, we need wonder today. We need wonder and inspiration more than ever before. Wonder and inspiration reminds us to be hopeful. The more the world becomes connected, the more we hear about the world's problems. We all have concerns about the economy. Naturally, as a small businessman, I'm deeply worried about the economy. Nobody really needs a leather mask. Nobody really needs a bubble wand. So we're very worried about that. But by inspiring people, by bringing people a sense of joy and a little bit of fun, we show them that they can look forward to the future. They can think about a new idea. They can explore something that brings hope to their lives and happiness. We don't really need to listen to music as human beings. We can eat, we can live in a house, but we all love to listen to music. We all have different musical tastes. So that music inspires us. I think that art is important. There's an old saying, life is short, art is long. My masks are going to outlive me. The influence of my masks will outlive me. They will inspire children and they will learn from it. So.
That was spectacular.
All right.
Excellent.
That was